What's up, everybody? Welcome to What's Cookin' episode featuring my man Matt Genius.
Let's go.
Founder of Under Construction. As always, we got Young Kato behind the camera.
Hey, Kato.
Mama Tay co-hosting.
Ni hao.
Of course, your chef, Chef Waseel. Today, what I'm going to be cooking up, since our boy Matt is vegan, going to be making a buffalo cauliflower with fried plantains, Cuban-style beans, and a Spanish rice.
Nice.
So we're about to dive in. Let's do it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know.
I can finally eat this one. I'm vegetarian.
Oh, nice.
So he always makes I have to just eat everything but the meat. And I'm always like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It fills me up. It's always amazing. But now I get the full meal.
Right.
So I'm very excited.
Tight.
So how long have you been vegan for?
It's been a little over a year now.
Okay.
A little over a year, yeah.
What sparked that?
Well, my girl is vegan.
Okay.
So we were always going to vegan
Right.
spots and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I was just like, man, I'm going to try it. So
Right.
top of 2017, I was like, I'm just going to cut out chicken. Let me just do it for a month.
Right.
And then cut out chicken, cut out fish, and it was just like a progressive process.
Totally.
So
Wow.
I like it, yeah.
Happy wife, happy life, from what I hear. / I'm a girl, so I know if you make me happy, I'll make you happy.
For sure.
That's true.
That's awesome.
That's true. Tay, you asked a good question earlier before we got started.
I did.
Yeah.
I was very curious as to how you two got into contact with each
Yeah,
other.
so I'd actually stumbled on to Matt's clothing brand, Under Construction, and just, fell in love with the message, fell in love with the branding. And I noticed I had two friends following it at the time. My boy Kraz, I texted him, I was like, yo, do you know the person behind this brand? He's like, no, but I love the message behind this. I think it's super sick. And then my boy Bobo hit him up. He's like, dude, Matt's the homie. I can connect you guys if you want. Next thing you know, he loops us in a little IG thread. And I was like, yo, I'd love to have you on the episode. Matt was super down.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Super organic, just one of the few brands that I've ever stumbled on Instagram and just yo, this is legit. Just something that actually pulled me in. Because I feel
Especially as a man. I feel like there's not enough clothing companies that pertain to both men and women that have a good message and are fly all at the same time.
Yeah.
There's just the weird corny ones, or it's just Fashion Nova, and all the things for girls.
And for me, I don't particularly fall for brands like that. I see shit pop up all the time. It's always on my feed, the sponsored post and all that. But yours wasn't even a sponsored post. I had somehow just stumbled on it on the Explore page, And I barely go on my Explore page too, dog. So I saw it and I was like, yo, sucked me in. You had me with the caption, you had me with the clothing, and I just went down the rabbit hole. And it was just it just hella spoke to me, just huge fan of the message.
That's dope.
I bought a shirt on spot.
Oh, hell
That's
yeah.
what I'm rocking right now.
Nice.
I'll give you guys the full scope later. Even down to when I got the package, it's packaged beautifully, and then there's this QR code in the box, and you scan the QR code, and it takes you to a website, and it's a thank you video from this guy.
Oh wow, very cool.
You can tell there's so much thought put into everything. Dude, I respect that. Super dope. This is the perfect segue into, I've been wanting to ask you, what sparked the entire idea behind the brand?
Man, so I've been working on this concept for a while, just self-help, self-love type of thing. I had started this nonprofit organization called Always Remember to Smile, which is this hat. This is I want to say 2 years.
Oh wow.
I put out because I rap and produce too.
Oh, dope!
So
Wow.
Yeah, I put out a an EP called Antidepressant, and I don't know, I've just always something always pulled me to help people with just their confidence and stuff like that. I struggle with confidence, as a younger kid, getting bullied and stuff like that. So something just pulled me to it, and I went to Japan. I think July. I went on tour with Kendrick Lamar.
Oh wow.
What?
And doing merchandise.
Okay.
And I just got super inspired by the style and just everything.
Right.
And it was just a crazy time for me. I spent a lot of time by myself, so it was just a lot of inner work, a lot of just figuring out what I like,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I don't know, things just started clicking.
That's amazing.
And yeah, I saw like all these like buildings and stuff like being under construction, and I was just like, man, it's crazy to like go through these like parts of town where like there's a lot of traffic being built up and all this stuff, and I was just like, man, like after this is built, like people are gonna appreciate, you know, all the work that went into this, like,
Wow.
but as it's under construction, like people are like, man, there's traffic and so I just looked at it like, man, like it's kind of like us as human beings, like we're constantly growing, and sometimes we throw fits and we're moody and stuff like that, but you know, at the end of it, like we're building building
Right.
that people can enjoy, you know,
Right.
the community can enjoy.
Right.
That's so true. And like all the captions that you write, and then like you also post a lot of graphics, which just, it's like, it speaks to me every time, you
That's
know,
dope.
particularly like the time of my life it caught me in, like I really felt like I was and still am in such like a construction phase, particularly the time that it caught me, like everything, I was just resonating so well, man. Like it's really difficult nowadays, I feel like, to find something that like speaks to you in that sense and that captures you in that sense.
For sure.
So I really appreciate it too, to be
Yeah.
real with you, man, because it's like even that metaphor is so right. Like
Yeah.
we are literally all under construction
At all
constantly.
times, yeah.
Constantly. Like the moment that you stop is really the moment you kind of die in a sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
You stop working on yourself.
You're not growing, you're
You're
dying.
not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Dude, I didn't know you make music too.
Yeah.
How long you been doing that for?
Man, it's been a minute. It's been like 15 years.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah,
bro.
15 years, like making beats on and
Wow.
off. Yeah.
And you also rap, you said?
Yeah.
What's your artist name?
Mad Genius.
Mad Genius. Okay, word.
It's been a journey, man. I just like creating at the end of the day. Like I think my skill, I would say, is like my curiosity. So like when I get curious to do something, I'm just all in. Like I
Absolutely.
try to figure it out, like test it out. Like every time like I read books and stuff, and you know there's a new perspective, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try that out.
Right.
You know, instantly. so,
Apply.
yeah.
Learn and apply.
It's all about that insatiable curiosity.
Yeah.
You know, like maintaining that curiosity that you had when you were a child. It's actually a concept that Tay and I discuss a lot when we're younger, when we're kids. You're so curious and you're just so unafraid
Yeah.
to
There's
go
no
after.
fear.
No fear.
Yeah,
right?
you fall, it's fun because you're in the dirt
Right.
anyway.
No fear. But as we get older, you start to kind of lose that, right? It's like society tries to box you in. It's like, this is how you should be doing this. This is what you should be doing. Don't do that because, you know, and then you start to build that fear. Yeah. And you start to, with that fear, you start to lose that curiosity that made you who you were, right?
sure.
So that's something that I've been really trying to get back in touch with and really tap back into. I love reading as well, so that's always something that's kind of kept that element for me, that curiosity element. But now, like, continuing to apply that with my creativity and my art, not boxing ourselves in, you know? Like, we're producer DJs, right?
Right.
That's how we started off. And even in that realm, when it was first really popping, like there was a box if you wanted to like make it as like a producer DJ, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have to make like a certain style of music. And it's like now, as music grows and becomes more accessible, those lines and that box, like they're disappearing. And that's like what's allowed us to dive into these different projects, like this podcast, for example. We do this other thing called TV Dinner, which is like we bring on an artist, we do the same thing, we cook for them, but we do like a sit-down interview, they do a live performance. It's like an intimate, like 15, 20 person dinner party.
That's dope.
You know, so just like really trying to branch out of just doing music and like also like just making the style of music that's expected of us, right? We want to, you know, be playing these big shows and like this is the formula or whatever, but like the more the years have gone by, it's like, fuck that formula.
Exactly.
Like why? Like stay curious and just like do whatever pulls you in.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I feel like we're really starting to find our groove now as like artists and as creators, like you mentioned, like of like just doing whatever like calls to us, you know? It's like the whole under construction thing.
I like how you tied that in.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a really hard concept for me, which now I love under construction because it's kind of like you also don't know what the finished product is going to be if you're not actually a part of it.
Right.
And for myself, like I started off as a dancer. I've been dancing for 18 years. I'm their creative director because of dance, and
Yeah.
dance helped me realize I don't want to just dance behind someone.
Right.
I want to create the opportunities that I'm doing which opened me up to music and podcasts and all these new things. And it was really hard at first to let go of what I thought I was supposed to be. Even my parents, my mom's like, but you should be going to this and doing this and auditioning more. And I'm like, I don't think that's what my lane is supposed to be. I think my lane is supposed to be a created lane of what I did myself. It's under construction. I don't quite know what the lane is yet, but it's mine. And it's been so freeing, not just like being in one box. Like having to just be a rapper, only be producers, or only a dancer. We get to be whatever the hell we want to be at all times.
Yeah, definitely. I think like I'm like a really spiritual person, so I tend to like look at like every situation as like the universe or God, or whatever you want to believe in, your higher self. It's kind of like shaping things for you. Like God is kind of essentially, you know, paving a way for you. And you think like, for me, like I thought I wanted to be like a rapper, right? I wanted to be like this big time producer rapper, and I was so connected to a bunch of like artists in the industry, and nothing would ever happen. Like I would never get any placements, you know. And I was just like, what? Like why? Like why is this not happening? But the more I just started to kind of surrender to like the divine plan, and it was like more opportunities in the clothing lane started to pop up, and then like, you know, naturally I'm always about inspiration and stuff like that. So it was just like an avalanche started to create itself, and I was like, oh, maybe this is the lane that I need to go down, and now I'm here.
Dude, great conversation. I really appreciate you coming on. Really excited to eat this. Before we go, Matt Genius, plug it. Where can we find you? The socials, the whole nine. You got a drop coming up, whatever you want to plug.
Well, if you want to follow me on Instagram, or the brand, I'm sorry, it's underconstruction.ww on Instagram. That's pretty much where like I post all the stuff. I kind of just put all the energy on there. From there you can find out like drops or anything like that. But yeah, if you want to get inspired, follow me.
Hell yeah. For the inspo.
Hell yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
Damn.
Wow.
Wowza.
Get it on the gram or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So that's it. Episode 3 of What's Cookin', featuring Matt Genius. Again, shout out to Young Kato behind the lens. Shout out to Young Tay holding it down. And hopefully this meal is fire. And that's a wrap. You guys know where to find us. Tastebreakers.com. Subscribe on YouTube. We're about to launch this. This is actually going to be on the podcast, which is going to be a new thing we're launching in 2019. Super excited for that. Of course, you can find us Spotify, Apple Music, the whole nine. If you guys ever want to see anyone, hit us with a recommendation. Peace.
Bye.